And please, it's important for those of you who are new, it's really important to sit still and to stay focused inside yourself and try to relax as deeply as you can so that you can experience this meditation, and allow it to really develop a chakra system inside you that will connect you to higher energy in the universe. The meditation really has a singular purpose. And, the only person who keeps any of us from having a spiritual life is ourselves. We like to blame the world. We like to find fault with everything that goes on in life. And yeah, a lot of crap goes on in life, but it doesn't matter. Because if we get balanced inside, if we get our hearts open, if we really are centered inside ourselves and the Shakti can flow, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world. We're connected to spirit and we can deal with all the problems that life presents us. So it's really important to understand, that each and every one of us has to deal with a unique karma. We have all unique problems. We have difficulties that manifest every day in our lives, but each and every one of us is connected to spirit. The only thing that's missing is a highly developed chakra system inside a human being. And that's all these classes are about. I mean, meditation is not a religion. It's not a cult. It's nothing of that nature. It's a craft. If you want to learn how to play a piano, you got to learn the craft. If you want to learn to paint, you have to learn the craft. You want to learn to be a lawyer, doctor, you have to learn the craft. Meditation is simply a craft of learning how to truly, transform ourselves, how to fix ourselves inside so that there's inner peace, there's quiet, there's simplicity, and above everything else, there's the ability to love, the people in your life. And truthfully, the love has to start with oneself. If people don't like and love themselves, forget about it. They'd find fault with Jesus Christ if he walked in the room. The Buddha, with Muhammad, they'd find fault because there's so much that they dislike about themselves that they project it onto the world and to other people. That's what this meditation is really about, is fixing oneself. And it's not about becoming perfect. God is perfect. The rest of us will be imperfect the rest of our lives. We have to learn to deal with it, to make it work for us. As Rudy said, and I've repeated this 1,000 times, a pearl in an oyster is a product of an irritation. We all have enough irritations going on in our lives that we can have, the best pearls that exist on the planet Earth if we learn how to transform them into love, into happiness, into Shakti, into energy that connects us to spirit. That's all this meditation is about. It's a craft. It takes time to master a craft. It takes patience. And I'll repeat it, the only person any of us are up against in mastering this craft is ourselves. So we'll have a meditation class now, and afterwards, if there are any questions, I'll be happy to try and answer them. Yes.
Hi, Stuart.
Hi.
Is it common to experience an increase in anxiety the first couple of weeks of practicing this technique?
I wouldn't say it's common, but it's very understandable because, look, all the chakras are surrounded usually by tension, anxiety. And when you start focusing your attention there in the chakra below and opening the heart, there's going to be resistance. I hate to say it, but we're so familiar with living with that kind of tension. We almost don't want to let go of it.
Yeah.
Because, it's a familiar thing. So when you start opening the way this meditation requires, there's going to be resistance. There's going to be tension, and then, of course, it becomes kind of an internal battle of dragons. It's you using the technique, the breath, the mind, to be able to break through that, layer, that fortress of tension inside, and get to a place where the chakra really gets open.
Okay.
So I'm not surprised. This happens, quite a bit, and it's very common, I mean, when you think about how many people on this planet spend 5 minutes a day trying to do something about the tension inside, other than taking pills,
Mm-hmm.
they take all these things that they take that. So tension is a serious situation. I remember once somebody asked my teacher, Rudy, he said, he asked him, why do you wear orange all the time? So he said, orange is the symbol of surrender. And what are you surrendering? He said, tension. It's transforming what's killing us into what can give us, it's like planting an organic garden. You need compost. Well, what is compost? It's basically garbage,
Mm-hmm.
that you put in the ground, and it just transforms itself into nutrients that allow a garden to grow. A healthy garden. Well, our tension is like compost. We need to learn how to transform it so that it nurtures us and gives us life instead of, drives us crazy,
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that you have that kind of, I mean, I had it when I first started doing this. And it's, look, I won't, there's no panacea in all this. There's always going to be something wrong inside of a person. There's always going to be something you have to work against. Nobody is perfect. God is perfect. The rest of us have to deal with our imperfections and use them to get closer to our enlightenment, transform them into Shakti, into energy, into that which nurtures us inside, instead of that which puts us at odds with ourselves and everybody else.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question? And just to finish, there's no easy path. There's no slow path. The quickest way, please try and sit still. Wait 5 minutes before you drink something. It really disrupts the class. There's no easy way. The easiest way is just doing it. It's the fastest path to enlightenment, is just doing the work that is required to get there. Whatever it is, it could be this practice, another practice. It has to be something one has to do to build that channel that really is connected directly to higher energy in the universe. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And ultimately, what is it? What does everybody want? We all want to be happy people. That's basically the ultimate goal of the whole human race. Just to live here every day with our hearts open, with love inside us, with kind of the sacred nature of life is all around us, and we're missing it only because of that tension that surrounds the chakra system. And that basically is all this is about. Love, happiness, being a happy person. Happy people are enlightened people. I mean, not guys that wear orange robes and sit there, reading from texts and all this stuff, Somebody whose heart's open, there's a twinkle in their eye, there's compassion, kindness in them. They're kind to themselves, they're kind to other human beings. light. Does anyone else have a question? I mean, everybody, I think the ultimate goal of every human being, what they want on the planet Earth is just to be a happy person. Not only, when they win the lotto or they get some job or, get married, you understand, is every day joy, simplicity, quiet, inner peace, at peace with themselves, at peace with the world. Love. God is love. And all the universe is waiting is for us to build a system inside that can live here that way. Does anyone else have a question? It's nice to be back. It's good to take some time off. It's also good to get back. It's nice to sit and see bright faces. People that
I have a question, Stuart.
Yes, Luke.
I think that what everybody wants in this life is a feeling of connection. Can you say something about that?
Well, yes. Look, in order to be connected to other people, in order to be connected to spirit, in order to have a spiritual life, in order to live here with happiness and love and compassion for other people and the human race, we need to build a system inside that is capable of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
We're born that way. I mean, look at, infants. I mean, you can't walk past, an infant without smiling, wanting to pick them up and kiss them and hug them. And, they're so juicy and delicious. They come into the world that way. And then you have this screwed up society we live in this world that conditions them to lose all of that. There are righteous paths people have to take. The quest for money and power and success and all that innocence just gets thrown by the wayside. And then you got to do yoga and meditation and whatever else. People go to churches and synagogues to regain it, that thing we were born with. That enables us to connect with anything. An open
Mm-hmm.
heart, innocence, love.
Mm-hmm.
So it's paradise lost and then paradise regained. But that's what life is all about. That's what the Bible is all about. Come out of paradise and this book of wars and this and that and the prophets and, leading where? To the Messiah. It's paradise lost. Then you go through life with all the turmoil and difficulties in order to finally build a system that enables you to regain the paradise that was lost as a permanent reality, as a oneness with God, as enlightenment, freedom from karma. To be connected. In this book I'm writing, I was talking about a communal soul. And there is on the planet a communal soul. Again, what's missing is the development inside people so they can tune into that communal soul. And that is basically what all this meditation is about, building that kind of an inner light. One can connect with the communal soul, which is the soul that exists in every human being. And one can connect with the universal soul, which is the state of enlightenment. One precedes the other, love.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think you, Luke, you have really grown a lot since you started this class. I mean, your whole face is different, you know, calmer, more open. It's wonderful to see. I mean, God bless you, you know. It's really a wonderful thing for me to see as you've changed. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, then there'll be a meditation on Thursday. God bless you all. Thank you all for being here, for being my teacher, making it possible for me to grow the way I'm growing in my life. God bless you. So there's no other purpose to my life but to do spiritual practice, to get to God and, you know, be a happy person. I don't know what else it's all about. So bless you all, and I'll see everybody hopefully on Thursday.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you very much, Stuart.
Bye. See you.